thank you for joining Crypto and Real Estate. I am Piper Moretti, and today I'm excited because I have a friend on, but also a colleague with EXP. His name is Christopher Rivera. He is a crypto blockchain expert and a Puerto Rico agent. And I found him because I actually had a client in Puerto Rico that had a couple of properties that we needed to sell. I needed some boots on the ground, and he took those and just ran with them, and we became fast friends. I visited these properties last year, fell in love with Puerto Rico, fell in love with Chris. So, Chris, thank you for being on the show, and tell us just a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor for me to be in the show. I've been in real estate for 3 years now in Puerto Rico, and I did events before that. I've been combining both things in Puerto Rico, doing events for real estate activities and networks of a lot of crypto people living in Puerto Rico. So it's been an adventure, and since I met you, I have become an expert in I have to say that I have to give you the credit of all the things that I know of cryptocurrency. And I mean, this is probably the fourth podcast that I speak about Puerto Rico and cryptocurrency, and it's all because of you. I mean, I use the Crypto Realty Group as my reference for my knowledge. So first of all, I have to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
And with that experience that we had in the sale of the property in Cabo Rojo to a crypto guy, because of the crypto, gave me the chance to be recognized in Puerto Rico as the guy who has done a cryptocurrency real estate transaction. So It's been a blessing. I'm a tech guy, so I love cryptocurrency, but other knowledge that I have been getting has been through you and the property and all those connections that I have been getting because of our connection.
Wonderful. Well, the key is with that is, I mean, and I remember talking to you about this, over a year ago when we met, was that you didn't have to know a lot about crypto and blockchain. I mean, the fact that you said, yes, I'm up for the task, and you had that open mind, that's all it takes. Because, 5 years ago when I had my first buyer contact me, I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that, and not knowing a thing about it, but now here we are, and you're in an amazing hotspot with the crossroads between, crypto and real estate, in Puerto Rico. There's so many amazing things happening there. So I mean, please continue with your background and maybe go into what's going on in real estate. And by the way, I can't believe you've only been in real estate for 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm passionate about business, and I've been in business the majority of my life. And thank God I've been able to progress. And I think networking has been one of the biggest tools that I have, and the connections that I have in Puerto Rico to progress here. And because of Act 60, which is the new act where other crypto guys have been moving to Puerto Rico because of their tax advantages they have. It has been a theme in the real estate community. And it has been, a talk. They meet every Monday. They have meeting all the time. A lot of Puerto Ricans are getting involved in the crypto community, which is, for me, a blessing. It's cryptocurrency is the future today. We are living a moment in the crypto community that if you get involved and learn, you'll be well in the future. And we have a billionaire in Puerto Rico of cryptocurrency, which is Brooks.
I know who that is too. I don't know him personally, but you've got some big players that have moved there, and it's not just for the tax implications. It's for blockchain. It's for crypto. I mean, and it's just a prime opportunity, I think, and it came, and correct me if I'm wrong, it kind of came out of tragedy. You guys were obviously decimated with a couple of really bad hurricanes in the last few years. I believe it was Hurricane Maria.
Yes.
That came through in 2017. And that's the first time I started hearing about blockchain opportunities, because it was you were obviously in rebuilding mode. And it's funny, I saw this video it was a town hall meeting with Brock Pierce and some other, and some townspeople. I don't know if it was in San Juan or where it was, but there was a lot of resistance. There was a lot of anger in this town hall meeting because, obviously you've had the devastation that just occurred. You weren't sure what the future was going to be. And Brock was like, love him or hate him, he brought this opportunity. He said, this is a prime breeding ground for opportunity in blockchain. Let us help you. And I think it's been quite positive since then. And now you've got all these guys moving there to San Juan. They meet every Monday. There's it's a big think tank. I was hell bent on meeting those guys, but they were still in Miami when we were trying to meet up with them. But I mean, it's just, and now that, you've positioned yourself in a really great space, with the intersection of real estate.
Yes.
And I just see nothing but positive stuff coming out of this. So yeah, please elaborate.
In Puerto Rico, right now real estate in Puerto Rico is hot. Everything is selling, and the government is trying to help in the process somehow, especially with these tax advantages. Act 60 before was Act 20 and 22. That was before Maria. So they have been adapting for new stuff. Cryptocurrency guys pay 0 in their capital gain, which is very, very, very attractive.
And how is that? Is it because they stay there for 6 months out of the year? How does this Prop 60 work?
They need to make Puerto Rico their residency. Residence. They have to move to Puerto Rico, but they have to be here 183 days in a year, which is 6 months.
Okay.
Now, they don't have to be consecutive. You can go and travel and do your business and stuff like that. The majority of the investors who have moved to Puerto Rico still have business in the U.S. So maybe they move here and they work from Puerto Rico. And there's a tax formula for that. You need a CPA expert on tax benefits and on Act 60 to understand well how you can benefit of that. But I have plenty of friends who are running their company from Puerto Rico, or they have a CEO there and they're just only a chairman in their board, and that's how they run it. So because of that, a lot of investors have moved here to invest in real estate. I became a Real Estate Investors Association member. So I know them, we hang out, and we do a lot of networking. Actually, I give the market analysis once a month in our meeting.
Nice.
So I'm involved with them 100%. Same thing with a group that is called Uncommon Entrepreneurs. Uncommon Entrepreneurs take all the people who are interested in business, It's about entrepreneurship. So it's not related only in real estate, but all kind of businesses. And that's where you meet also cryptocurrency guys. You meet their stock people, the people that invest in the stock market. You meet people just doing entrepreneurship in the States and doing marketing in Puerto Rico and all that kind of things. To live here and get that, they need to comply with certain things like living in Puerto Rico, buying a house. They have to buy a house in Puerto Rico. They have 2 years to do that. They have to employ certain amount of people depending of what law they apply for. They have to donate, I think it's $10,000 a year for a nonprofit. So there's stuff like that that they need to, check in the checklist
Sure.
to be able to have the exemption at the end of the year.
Okay. Okay.
And that's pretty much what has been happening. I have only had one person interested in buying their property with cryptocurrency, but it's also because not many agents have felt comfortable enough to announce. I did a podcast last week for the EXP agents exclusively, and we talk about, let's do it. Let's say that we can do the transaction and we'll help you. It's a matter of helping. We are not where we want, in reference to what blockchain can really do in the real estate space. But there's a lot of interest.
I know. Yeah. Even in the bear market, even in, with what's going on right now, my speaking calendar is still very full. And now it seems like you're the go-to guy there. So, careful what you wish for. You're going to be asked to speak a lot, but it's a good thing because, it's not only a great networking opportunity, you get to impart your knowledge, and the more adoption, the better everybody benefits from, so good for you. And, and the fact that you've got this event background definitely helps. I mean, my God, you helped us so much in Miami a couple of years ago, but, we're hoping to do a big event at some point, right? In,
Puerto
San
Rico,
Juan.
yes.
Yeah, I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
I think it's going to be a success. People want to know more.
Yeah. People want to know more.
And you're the girl to do it.
Oh my God. Well, you're the guy to do it. I mean, it's, thank you. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, not only is, I mean, everybody understands the importance of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. Yes, we are in a bear market at the moment, but we always come out of it. Stocks always come out of it. We're running lockstep with the stock market now, whereas before it used to be just about the opposite. But the interest has not waned. I'm still getting calls from sellers, more sellers now than buyers, I think. But everybody's kind of, jockeying for a position to be able to, have this kind of expertise. And what better person to do it in Puerto Rico than you? And, so because, you did the one in Cabo Rojo. I would have loved to have seen, the development turn into a DAO or something really big and crazy like that. But maybe there's another opportunity somewhere else.
And I don't think he has died.
Yeah,
he hasn't made the final decision. So let's see what's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm still following up.
Okay.
So let's see.
That's half our job, right?
Also in Puerto Rico, opportunity zones are a great opportunities for people to invest. You pay
almost
your taxes.
The entire. Sorry to interrupt. Almost the entire island is, but mine is like a couple of areas are. It's an the entire thing is an opportunity zone.
95% of Puerto Rico is opportunity zone.
Yeah. So that coupled with like the capital gains, the lack of capital gains, I should say. Let's talk about that. It's crazy.
Yep. And that when you have that, and you have also the tax credit for the tourism industry. So if you invest in tourism in Puerto Rico, you're able to get 30 or 40% of tax credit in Puerto Rico for 100% of the money you invest.
Wow.
And that happens, like you say, pretty much in the whole island,
Yeah.
except San Juan, maybe, a few places. But you can look in the HUD page and see that Puerto Rico is pretty much the whole thing a opportunity zone.
Yeah.
And we can find any property that any of your followers, fans could be interested in that in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
We can help with the opportunity zone. You can do that transaction with cryptocurrency if you want to, and we can do that to make that happen. And we can help with the tax credit you get from tourism. So there's a lot of opportunity in real estate in Puerto Rico besides solar panels. There's an incentive for energy, not only in the state, but also in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
There's people already buying hundreds of acres only to put solar panels because we have a problem, serious problem generating electricity.
Yeah.
We can find that land. Actually, we have one from the same client, 80 acres in Cabo Rojo.
Yes, that popped into my head. He's got some prime real estate for that kind of thing.
And in Cabo Rojo, it's where the sun heats stronger in Puerto Rico.
Oh.
So you will be producing, just because of the location, you will be producing more energy than if you put exactly the same thing in San Juan.
Wow. Okay. So for those of you who are listening who are not quite familiar with Puerto Rico, I'm still learning, but I stayed in Cabo Rojo, and it's about 2.5 hours southwest.
Southwest, correct. It's the corner of southwest.
And it's kind of a vacation spot for locals, we should say, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, the beaches are just pristine. Incredible. I had so much fun. I mean, just the one day that we just kind of went around and went on the little tour there. It was a lot of fun. We grabbed some beers off this little off the side of the road, oh my god, it was the best. I didn't feel like I was working that day at all. But the entire island. I mean, it's not so. When people think of Puerto Rico, of course they think of San Juan and the ports and the busy city and everything. But it's really the entire island that is prime for this kind of, I keep saying opportunity because it is. So, I get excited every time I talk to you because I'm thinking, oh my God, we could do, commercial, real estate DAOs. We can, and not just, with this, mutual client of ours, but there's just so much rich real estate there, and money to be made, and then you pile on the tax incentives, the opportunity zones. I mean, and they made it that way. Just they're so business and investor friendly. It just kind of makes sense.
Another thing that is happening also is that there's an organization that is called investpr.org.
Yes. Okay.
And that's where Brian Bergery, which is also the founder of Uncommon Entrepreneur, and today my friend, works. He's a business developer for them. And they're attracting manufacturers. The U.S. with COVID discover that they cannot trust China to build their stuff. So they want to get out of China now.
Yeah.
They're coming back to the U.S., but they're also looking in Puerto Rico because of the tax advantages they have.
Yeah.
So we've been moving some industry type of how you call it, big warehouses for them to move manufacturers and stuff like that, and that is something that is getting more attraction right now. So there's a lot of stuff going on in Puerto Rico. Of course, you're gonna find some haters in Puerto Rico that are Puerto Ricans that don't understand the importance of investments.
Yeah.
But it's happening. It's happening, and crypto right now is suffering a little bit with what happened with Terra and the consequences of that with the Bitcoin and all that. They are suffering. These guys right now are hurting because for some of them it's 90% of their income. Many of them are 100% in the cryptocurrency, and I mean I talk with them all the time. They're, oh my god, I'm suffering right now.
It hurts. Yeah, it really does hurt.
But I think
I'm not in it there, but it still hurts.
It's a matter of time. It's going to go up again. That's my belief.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah, it happens about every 4 years. I mean, minus the, what's going on with the interest rates and everything, in the stock market. But, with I don't want to get too geeky on everybody, but, there's a halving every 4 years, and that we're due for another one. If it hasn't happened already, I should keep up on my halvings. But, there's a slump, and then it goes right back up again. So, and right now I try to keep it in perspective, with audiences that I educate, that look, not to say, I don't know what the bottom's going to be, but right now we've been hovering around $20,000. I'm talking about Bitcoin because that's kind of the gold standard.
Yes.
That was the height in 2017. So
yep.
That's, and that's 5 years later, this is our low, so that it puts it in perspective a little bit, I mean, granted, it was almost 70 grand 6 months ago. Well, more than that now, 6 or 8 months ago, but it's only going to go, and it's not going anywhere. And realtors especially know this because we get like, they just thirst for knowledge. I mean, I get calls every day. When do you take, what do you have a class? So, I mean, it's just, it's only a matter of time, guys, so, and I love these naysayers, the tier one magazines and the platforms, they're just waiting for something, something like this to happen so they can go, yep, I told you so. I told you crypto was a bunch of BS. I told you, and it's like, how long, seriously, how long have you had that like laying around? You're just waiting.
Right.
Anyway, so, there's always going to be somebody like that. There's always going to be the traditionalists that are, they don't recognize it as a separate asset class.
Right.
I kind of teeter between traditional and, a crypto bro. I do not want to be labeled as a crypto bro, but I am definitely like, an enthusiast and more than an enthusiast. I'm in it like every day. Mm-hmm. And so are you, and the value.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities. Crypto is definitely one of them. Other crypto guys can move to Puerto Rico. There's also some people interested in the land to do agriculture.
Yes.
And because of there's also incentives for that. In Puerto Rico, we have increased the amount of production in agriculture to 15% of our needs. Before was 5%.
Oh,
so it's we're getting ahead with that, and many of the people who are working agriculture are Americans who have moved to Puerto Rico.
Now, tell me about the cannabis situation there. What's is it legal?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have to.
It would have to be. Yeah.
You have to do a lot of permits, but yes, sure. It is legal.
Okay.
You can. There's probably, I would guess, 200 acres of cannabis in Puerto Rico, okay, of land already been developed. And I don't know how many clinics, but there's a lot of clinics.
A lot, yeah. It's same here. Yeah.
A lot. You need to get a kind of a license, which is a medical, and then you can buy all kinds of stuff. I'm not aware of exactly the business, but I know it's working properly.
I don't know these things, but yeah.
I know that,
so it's still medicinal there.
It is.
Okay.
And right now the sales are going a little lower because the amount of clinics,
oh sure,
the demand kept the same, but the offer now is everywhere. So now they are in the fighting. I'll say, we're fighting for prices and the customers and stuff like that, which is part of the business.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring it up is because cannabis is very close to crypto, and I don't know how it works out in Puerto Rico, but at least in the States, it's most states recognize it. Like it's legal in most states, whether it's medicinal or recreational or whatever. But they're all cash businesses because the feds don't recognize it as being legal, which is ridiculous. Right. And so therefore they can't have bank accounts, like federal bank accounts. So it's a cash business. And a lot of the times, they convert that cash to crypto because they got to hold it somewhere. Right. And there's ways to do that. I'm not going to, but still, I mean, there's a lot of mattress money laying around. And is it the same there? I mean, like how, okay, I figured as much because it's like, I mean, you're a territory, but you're not a state. So I'm like, I don't know how a lot of these.
Yeah, but federal laws apply in Puerto Rico.
They still apply. Okay.
In like any other state.
That was a dumb question on my part. I don't know. These things.
People ask that question frequently.
Yeah.
Does apply? Yes. If it's a federal law, applies in Puerto Rico.
But then you guys don't get the benefits. It's like you get the laws, but you don't get a lot of the benefits, though, which sucks.
I'm wondering, are they accepting crypto? Because that's a good alternative.
That is a really good question. I would have to ask some people who are really into it. Hey, and if anybody else knows out there who's listening to this, let us know. Yeah, I don't know. I know realtors that really only deal in cannabis, structures and, the licensing and all that. So maybe they know.
That will be a great solution.
Yeah.
Accept cryptocurrency and then convert it to the U.S. You can do the payroll. I mean, we know that.
Yeah.
And there's tools to do that. I think it's a matter of education to understand how crypto works and how some people are afraid they'll lose money if they put it in the cryptocurrency, which we know today is not necessarily if you know how to do it.
Yeah.
So but they have to keep the money in the wallet because they're not going to be able to transfer that to a bank.
Yeah. So there's a lot of little nuances there, if you're in the cannabis space. But I thought, there's so much good raw land out there that agriculture, solar panels like you're talking about. I can see it. So how much? So for kind of a guide, how much would like a single family home, like say 3-bedroom, 2-bath, be in different areas of Puerto Rico there?
Right now, if you are outside of tourism area, I'll say from 125 to 200.
Ugh. God.
I mean, you can find a 300, 400 because you're in Dorado and Palmas del Mar, and there's some places that are beautiful and high-income people around and have golf and all that. Those places you pay more. But where I live, $150,000, you get a house with three rooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a garage, easy. And
that is so attractive, especially from Southern California. I'm like, really? Oh my God!
Oh yeah, no, we cannot compare. California is a lot more expensive than us.
Yeah,
and we are kind of expensive, especially if you go to Dorado East, and Dorado Plantation. The cheapest property in Dorado East was $3 million. The cheapest one.
Okay.
And it went up to, I think, is $30 million sold. That is, it was one of these. It's an influencer.
Okay.
I don't remember his name. 30 million.
Wow.
And there's one for sale asking for 40.
40. Oh, I got to see this.
I'll send it to you. It's a hotel.
I wouldn't know what it. Yeah, I would think like no, like who?
It's
Who
huge.
needs a $40 million?
15
Seriously.
rooms. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
I have one for sale in Dorado in an open contract that is 17 million.
Wow.
8 rooms. Beautiful property. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot of, Puerto Rico has everything you need. You have fun. You have to deal with a different government that is not as fast as the government transactions in the U.S. That is our reality.
You're on island time there, like seriously, and that's what you got to get used to. I mean,
right.
And United States island time, like you go to Hawaii, yes, you're on island time, but still, no, you go to Puerto Rico, that is a different kind of island time, and I had to really slow down, and it's a good thing though too. It's it's not all bad. So, oh my God,
we have a way to do it. If you get a contact with someone in Puerto Rico, there's people that can help you in all the transactions, especially with the government, and they have their connections. And do it for me. You pay $50 and they have it done, and let's resolve this problem fast.
That's great. Yeah. And I think, again, it's kind of it's a little club. It's like who and all that. You still got that vibe going on. But I mean, heck, guys, if there's anybody out there that's got a client who's looking for a multi-million-dollar property in Puerto Rico,
we'll find it.
Chris here.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
And if they want to pay in cryptocurrency, we'll do it.
Well, yeah, I know we will absolutely do it, and let's talk a little bit about the one that you actually saw. I marketed it, but the one in Cabo Rojo real quick. We advertised as, taking crypto, and then what? Then what happened?
It was a $1.2 million property. I mean, that was the asking price. 4 rooms, 4 bathrooms, family kitchen, beautiful home, big.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a exclusive area in Cabo Rojo, which is called Deportivo del Oeste, with golf course and all that. And in all the advertisement, we use what you wrote, which was we accept the currency. We put the coins, if I'm not wrong, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but that was the main title of their advertisement. And this guy saw it through another broker, and he was very interested because of that. We had to sell that property. He had to move in the property 2 weeks after he saw it. So we had to get creative.
Real creative. Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah.
He was going to start the year 2021 as an Act 60, and he saw the house in 2020, October 2020. So he asked us to wait until January 2021 to close. So we did a deal of rent, and that was against the selling price, and we closed that deal at $900,000. He didn't want to do the KYC, which is something people need to understand.
Which you get sometimes, yeah.
You need to comply. We need to comply with the law, Just because we're using cryptocurrency, we need to comply with the law. And people need to understand that the bank needs to know and the government needs to know that money is clean,
Yeah. Yeah, so, and that's a misnomer. A lot of, I do get some calls from people, buyers that say, "Oh, I'll stay under the radar." This is a really good point. I'll stay under the radar if it's like a wallet to wallet, or if I use crypto, they're not going to. No, that is not the case. Your capital gains. If you're in Puerto Rico, that's one thing. You're not going to pay capital gains if you cash out, but it's still a huge paper trail. It's just like a regular transaction, except you're using a different kind of currency that we can help you with, basically, right? So he didn't want to do the KYC, which is know your customer, in case you didn't know that. It's all these checks and balances that the payment processor has you go through. And it's really not that much different than, filling out the escrow paperwork, the statement of information, all the, hoops that you got to jump through to prove that, you're not from a blacklisted country. You are not a drug dealer. You don't have a huge criminal record, all that. So that's really all it is. And this guy didn't want to do it.
I don't know why. It's
that's at that point. I'm like, I don't even want to ask. Just okay, fine.
I said that, you didn't tell me. So, well, I'm sorry, but it says that we are able to do a cryptocurrency, but you need to go through other process.
Yeah.
So anyway, we did it with cryptocurrency, but we used Coinbase instead of our third-party escrow and BitPay, and it was transferred from his wallet to the bank. So at the end, it was a cash transaction that converted from cryptocurrency to that.
So he basically did it himself. Okay.
It took him
totally
4
possible.
days because he had a maximum amount of withdrawal of $250,000. But it ran perfectly, and we did the transaction. And he said to me the closing date, I hope we can do another one with only cryptocurrency. Let's try to do
I
it.
hope so too. You got to play by the rules, though.
Exactly.
Because nothing's worse than you don't want to lose your license over something stupid. So,
no,
absolutely,
it's not going to happen. We need to comply with the law. We are
brokers. Plain and simple. That's why we're here. We got to make sure everything's on the up and up. So, okay. So in closing here, what would you like? So I'm assuming that my audience base is mainly real estate professionals, investors that are obviously, interested in buying some real estate. So people like that, that have some kind of intersection of crypto and real estate. So what do you want everybody to know, really, that they may not know about Puerto Rico?
Well, that you can multiply your money in Puerto Rico, that there's plenty of opportunity for real estate investments, including our project in Cabo Rojo. If we can get a investor interested in luxury apartments, oceanfront in Cabo Rojo, we have a project for you. But besides that one, we have plenty of others where you can have all the tax benefits in Puerto Rico. We can do all kind of transaction with cryptocurrency, as we mentioned before, and we were willing to help. We are here to do that, and we are being focusing in investments. I'm not a guy of loving to sell houses of $150,000. I'm looking for investors and projects to help Puerto Rico and help the investors who come here.
Yeah.
I'll be your right hand and help you all the way until the end, and talk about cryptocurrency and real estate in Puerto Rico.
I love that. And I can't give you kudos enough because, Puerto Rico, I've had some dealings with some other, I won't go into it, other agents. You don't necessarily have to be licensed there. It's a little bit of a free-for-all. But, Chris is licensed. He is trustworthy. He is with my own brokerage. So totally vouch for him. And how can people get a hold of you?
You can go to riverachris.info. That's my contact information. You can download there my business card. And you have there my phone number, which is 787-948-8051.
Fantastic.
And go to riverachris.info and find my information there.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm sure we'll do this again. We'll have to do some kind of a live broadcast if we do our event.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
It's been a pleasure,
so
Piper. As always, thank you. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I admire you, and I'm thankful for knowing you and all the knowledge that you have shared with me.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And thank you for saying yes. That's all we needed.
Anytime.